Good morning. Today we're covering section 3.2, Relations and Functions. And this will be found on your page 35 of your textbook in case you need to refer back to it. So let's go through the definition of a relation. We've been working with relations on the last section. And a relation is any parent of a set of inputs. Remember, inputs are your domain, x values, with a set of outputs. Your outputs are your range. Remember, we have x, y, doctor, domain, range. So your x values are your input, which is your domain. Your y values are the outputs, which is your range. Now, any type of graph, it's going to be a relation. It's a relationship between those points. For example, a relation could be the set of the following points. Just a set of points, it's also a relation. Now, the difference is that a function consists of a pair of input x and y's, such as each input is paired with exactly one output. In other words, all the x values must be different. So go ahead and highlight this. For example, we have the following relation. It's a function because all the x's are different. And I want you guys to use your highlighter. I want you guys to highlight each of the x's. And notice that none of the x's repeat. So that means that this is a function. Let's go to example number 1. Which of the following relations is a function in y? So first, let's go and look at letter A. With your highlighter, you must highlight your x values. Does anything repeat? The negative 4's repeat. So is this a function? No. Let's go and highlight the x values. The negative 6 repeats. So is this a function? No. The next one, 1, 3, negative 1, and 1. The 1 repeats with the 1. Now this is a negative 1, so it's a different number. It's not the same. So we're only looking for exactly the same number. So this is not a function. Let's try the next one. Negative 6, 2, negative 4, and 1. Nothing repeats, so is this a function? Yes. In order for it to be a function, two x's cannot share the same, 2 points cannot share the same x values. And let me explain why. Let's go over to the left. Let's assume that I asked Johnny to simplify if I let x is equal to 3. And he's going to plug it in here. So Johnny is working this one out. Then Maria, it's also working out on the board the same problem. So Johnny and Maria. Now once they work it out, Johnny says y is equal to 4. And Maria says no, y is equal to 5. So they give me the point that Maria says, because x is 3, Johnny says that if x is 3, y is 4. Maria says no, if x is 3, y is 5. So can they both be correct? Can Johnny get the point 3, 4? If you plug in a 3, he comes out with a 4. And Maria, if she plugs in a 3, can she come up with a 5? No. We know that they cannot share the x value. And that's why, in order for it to be a function, all of the x's must be different. We cannot have 2 points with the same x value. Can anybody guess who's right? Correct. Maria worked it out correctly. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. So for example B, let's go and explain why. Why? Because they cannot, because 2 points cannot share the same x values. And you can write it down in your own words as well. Because 2 points cannot share the same x value. So let's go to example B. We have -6, 2, -6, and 1. -3, 1, -9, and 2. -7. So I'm going to go and highlight all of them, and that makes it a little faster. So let's go and analyze the first one. Let's see, the first one, we have 2 -6's, so this is not a function. The next one, -3, 1, -9. So this one is a function. On the next one we have 2 -7's. On the last one we have 2 -2's. And on your homework you must highlight your x values, and you also need to use your red pen to be able to place arrows on the ones that repeat. So this one says no, this one says no. Why? Because 2 points cannot share the same x value. So go and try example number 2, A and B, see what you get, and then we can compare answers. Go and pause it now. Great. So now this is what you have gotten. On the first one, if you notice that 3 is repeat, so that's not a function. On the next one, letter B, -8 repeats, so it's not a function. Letter C, none of them repeat, the x values do not repeat, so it is a function. Letter D, the 7's repeat, so it's not a function. Why are they not a function? Because 2 points cannot share the same value. Or you can say, why is this a function? Because no x's share the same x value. So either way will be fine. Highlight your x-axis, your x values. So we have 8 and 8, so it's not a function. -8, -8, so it's not a function. -3, -3, not a function. And this one is because 2 points cannot share the same x value. This one, none of them share the x value, so that is a function. Let's continue to the back side. Now, to be able to check if a graph of a relation, now any graph that you guys have will be a relation. To be able to see if that relation is a function, we can use the vertical line test. We're going to be drawing vertical lines throughout the graph of the relation. If a vertical line crosses the graph twice, so it can only cross once. If it crosses twice or more, then it is not a function. Let's go and highlight vertical line test. If a graph crosses the twice graph or more, it's not a function. And you can, so that way you can refer back. So what I want you guys to do with your red pen, and I'm going to use a marker so that way you guys can see it, but you guys can use your red pen. We're going to start drawing vertical lines. How many times does it touch the graph? None. The next one, how many times does it cross the graph? Once. So it crosses it once. So far, so good. How many times does it cross the graph? Once. So let's continue on. Let's continue with another line. How many times it cross? Once. And we're going to be doing it all throughout the graph. We want to be able to see how many times does each line cross the graph. So this line crosses it once, 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 once. So this is a function, yes. Now on the next one, let's go and draw a line. And automatically I can see that if I draw a line, it's twice. So if you already know that's not a function, you can just draw one line and arrow, cannot share same x value. So if you notice, they both are sharing this x value. They both are sharing the -2, right? Because it's the x-axis. So those 2 points cannot share the same x value. And you need to be able to write down an explanation on why. Let's go to the next one. So even if you already know that this is a function, I need to see lines all throughout, just to be able to prove that each red line, each vertical line, crosses it only once. So yes, you notice only once per line. Go ahead and do the next 3 problems and see what you get. Go and pause it. Great. So for the next one, I'm just going to do one line. It doesn't matter where you draw it. If you already know that's not a function, then how many times does it cross? 3 times. So it can only cross once for it to be a function. Cannot share same x value. So if you notice, those 3 points will have the same value of x, which is +1. The next one, I already know that's not a function because if I draw a line, I know that. Let me just go and write the coordinates for these points, which is -3 and 2. For this point over here is -3 and -3. So if you notice, they have the same x value. So cannot share same x value. You must write down an explanation whenever it's not a function in order to receive credit. On the last one, so far so good. And I know some of you guys already know that this is a function, but I still need to be able to see all of my red lines. So yes. So this concludes section 3.2. Please email me if you have any questions, and have a great day.